Yes. Okay, great. So thanks for joining everyone. I know we have a small group right now, but my name is Samantha Lee. I'm on the Learning and Development team. Josh is also here on L&D, and we wanted to host this AMA as a chance for you all to ask any questions you might have about the GitLab Learn platform that we launched last week. GitLab Learn is our new learning experience platform that we're using to host all learning content, and also a place for your team members to access outside learning content like LinkedIn Learning. We launched it last week, and the doors are open. It's ready to go for GitLab team members. In the document for this call, which I'll just add to the chat really quickly, I've linked a few helpful, oh, that didn't take the whole link, sorry. There we go. I've linked a few helpful resources. We have the link to the platform, a welcome video that we recorded last week, and then also our user documentation in the handbook. So there's no questions in the document, but I'm wondering if anyone that's on the call might have any questions about GitLab Learn. Even if you haven't accessed it before, that's fine. You can just chime in or you can write it in the doc.
I had a quick question, Samantha. It was
Sure.
just, are there any like certifications in the learning, or is it more just like, content that you consume and sort of,
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. There's a few different certifications that are available right now and will be available more in the future. So right now we have the opportunity for you to earn badges to certify your learning. And a few of the certifications that are up there right now are the existing certifications that L&D has built out. So we have GitLab 101, GitLab 201, and we have the remote work certification. All of those are now in GitLab Learn. And if you take the certifications in the platform, you'll earn a badge that you can then share externally on your LinkedIn profile and let people know that you've been certified in those three.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, no, that's cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And it's a range of different like topics, right? Is it across sort of, are they like role specific based, or is it more like soft skills and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's another great question. So right now the content is essentially everything L&D had already had, we put into GitLab Learn. As we build out new content, we'll definitely be creating learning paths based on your role and based on managers' roles and individual contributor roles. Mm-hmm. We're also going to be engaging other teams at GitLab because I was having a conversation last week with someone asking about where the content in GitLab Learn is coming from. And it's really cool to see how much content has been built by teams across GitLab that would be awesome to get into GitLab Learn. So for example, like solution architects, if their team has created some really great learning materials and we can get that into the platform, then we can build a role-specific learning path for that role. As we grow and as we keep creating more learning content, that will come with time. And then another thing too that I wanted to highlight is that within GitLab Learn, kind of speaking both to your like the skills-based part of your question, we have access to LinkedIn Learning for GitLab team members that you can access through GitLab Learn. And there, if you have really specific skills that you'd like to get better at, so like project management or public speaking or whatever kind of skill you're thinking of, you can find LinkedIn Learning courses that are already created about those skills that you can take through GitLab Learn. And then really you have access to the entire platform. I'm pretty sure there's 8,000 plus courses you can take there.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for the question.
I asked a question as well. I just wanted to, how will GitLab Learn like help team members?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's a lot of really cool benefits to GitLab Learn that the platform is going to bring that really changes the way that we do learning at GitLab. One of the ways I think that the platform is really going to help team members is to be able to track your learning. So you'll be able to see over time what courses you've completed, what courses you're in progress, how much time you spent learning throughout the week, the month, the year. the other cool thing about the platform that I really like, that I think our team has a really interesting opportunity to explore and see how we use it, is the social aspect of GitLab Learn. So you can, in the platform, you can follow other people to see what they're learning. And the platform also has this like machine learning element that if you take 3 courses on topic A, it will start to suggest new courses based on similar topics or based on similar ideas that it thinks you're going to want to take next. And so I think that that combination of the machine learning and then also the social aspect is a really cool way that GitLab team members are going to be able to really elevate the learning that we're doing here and make it more intentional and organized and community-based. So I think, to me, those are the 2 things that really stand out, that it's going to change learning for our team. Anything you can add, Josh, too? I feel like you could answer that question as well. So
No, I think you hit it right on the head. Thanks for that.
cool. Yeah. Jim, I see you're mid-typing if you want to address your question.
Hey, thanks. So with GitLab Learn, will that incorporate the field enablement training sessions like Josh Blevins? Because I feel like a challenge today is we're getting requests for learning from multiple sources. So at some point, it would be nice to have a single source of the truth that allows us easily to figure out what learnings are expected from our team.
Oh, for sure. And yes, so actually the first audience that we launched the platform to was people in the sales org. And so those field enablement courses are already in GitLab Learn. I'm not sure to what extent all of them are, but yes, all of those trainings will be in GitLab Learn. And so field sales will be using this platform to train their team. I wish I could remember the name of the team, just to give you another example, or the name of the person who I was chatting with. But
it was David Summers, Josh.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah,
their team. I'm sorry, I was thinking of another example of another team. I think it was someone in the security world. I just can't remember the exact team, who also has reached out to me and said, we have these trainings that we want to provide, these security trainings, and how can we use GitLab Learn to do so? And so GitLab Learn, the vision of the platform is that this is the hub for all learning at GitLab, and we'll work with teams to get their learning content onto this platform. Does that answer the question?
Yes. Then I had a follow-up question. I was talking to Monica Jacobs just about sharing information in the field, and I think one of the challenges is how we crowdsource things. So some aspects of this aren't handbook first necessarily. So does this platform, for example, give an opportunity for crowdsourcing? So if we found a great LinkedIn learning course, we could be recommending that to people as an example?
Yeah, that's another great question. So all of the learning content, just to clarify, you said something about handbook first, and I just wanted to clarify that all of the learning that's on GitLab Learn is handbook first. Everything that we're putting in the platform is documented in the handbook. One of the ways that you can essentially contribute to Edcast, which is the company who hosts GitLab Learn, and this is one of the reasons why Edcast was chosen as the people to create GitLab Learn for us, is that anyone on the platform can contribute content to the platform. So the way that we have enabled this in our instance is, and I can try to find the link as I'm chatting, but I'm not great at that, is we've built this learning path for GitLab team members to become something called learning evangelists. And through that pathway, you'll learn how the platform works, how you can upload content, important places in the handbook you should be using as you create that content. And then at the end, you'll be awarded a badge, similar to the certifications that I was talking to Anthony about and answering his question at the beginning of this call. Once you earn that badge, you will be able to upload and share content to the platform freely. So say you find an article externally that you think is worth sharing, you'll be able to create something called a smart card and add that article to the platform. Same for a video, same for any kind of content that you find that you want to share. In terms of sharing content that's already in the platform, so like you said, a LinkedIn Learning course, I believe that there is an option to share, but I will have to get back to you on the permissions of who can share what. So I don't have a full answer to your question, but I can look into it.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a
but
very helpful answer, even if it's incomplete. So it looks like we're going down the right road. So thank you.
Yeah. For
yeah,
sure.
and I think I just to add on, I think crowdsourcing is like a big, feature of the platform. So we're just I don't think we're quite there yet to be able to enable that. So
Okay.
TBD.
And I just found the link. So we've outlined a process for GitLab team members to become a learning evangelist to contribute content. There's also links in there about how the community will be able to contribute content in the future. That process isn't totally hashed out. That's definitely still a work in progress, but yeah.
Well, if there's not another question, that reminds, will this be available to our partner community?
It will, yes. So we haven't
Okay.
launched to partner communities yet, but we will. I believe that's coming soon. But
Yeah, goal is end of February, early March. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
Piggybacking on that, are there any intentions to get something for customers to use? There is. Cool.
Yeah, customers will be onboarded onto this GitLab Learn platform as well. We're taking an iterative approach, launching small audiences. So we started with the sales organization at GitLab. Our second step was the rest of the GitLab team. And then we still have our partners and customers, and then the wider community who will all be able to access this same platform.
Exciting. Thank you.
Yeah. And something to go off of there as well, just that I'm thinking of based on that question. One of the features of GitLab Learn is something called learning groups, and groups allow us to organize learners based on different characteristics that make them similar, right? So a role or a team or even an area of interest. Those groups also allow us to restrict content to certain groups. So say you wanted to create a learning path for your team, but you did not want the entire wider community to be able to access it. And this comes into play a lot with the sales trainings that we don't want externally, external access to. We're able to kind of lock down content to certain users. So I know I had said that everyone, our entire community of team members, wider community, and customers will all be on this platform. That doesn't mean that they'll have access to all learning on the platform.
So a use case for that is public sector. We've got some nuances with our go-to-market. We've done a couple internal boot camps. So I can see that would be an awesome way to, yeah. All right. Thanks for that heads up. That's great.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's also ways, and I can find the documentation is a little bit in the weeds on this, but there's ways to say you built out this entire boot camp and 80% of it should be locked down for this one organization, but 20% of it's fine for the wider community to see. There's ways that you can make that 20% visible and discoverable by anyone in the platform and make sure that other 80% is only visible to a certain group. I don't see any other questions in the doc, but if there's anyone else on the call who has a question and just wants to verbalize it.
I am too busy following all my friends and colleagues on the platform.
That's okay. That's fun. If we don't have any other questions, we don't need to stay on. We can wrap things up. Also, if any questions come up that you want to ask or that you're curious about, we're having 2 more AMA sessions today. One's tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world. And then also you can always get in touch with the learning and development team in the learning and development Slack channel. That's the best place to go to ask any questions of our team about GitLab Learn, but also just any questions you have about learning opportunities at GitLab. And with that, I will close us out. Thanks, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.